Welcome back to Now on a Thursday. Of course, it's Thursday and we're speaking sport. Sport is an integral part of our nation building, and of course, in the budget, the Minister of Sport and Community Development, Shamfa Cudjoe, she recently gave her take on what she expects from the budget going forward. Of course, everyone gets a smaller piece of the pie, and she spoke about how they plan to invest in sport going forward. Here's Ms. Cudjoe.
First of all, thanks again for accommodating us. Tell me your thoughts on what has been allocated to sport in the budget, and also what do you see the investment going at this point in time?
Well, first of all, I think it was a good budget. The best we can do, especially at this trying time, we are now merged with community development. So it's about utilizing the whole community development structure and utilizing sport to improve our communities and to promote the total participation of sport. Of course, the bulk of the allocation this time around, especially on the recurrent side, we will look at providing assistance to sporting entities through our NPI allocation of $15 million. We would have seen a decrease in the rewards and incentive budget all the way down to $1 million because we aren't expecting any major games within this fiscal year other than the Olympics. So the rewards and incentive budget covers those who would have medaled at the highest level of the sport. So this time around, the focus will really be on promoting total participation of sport and even using the downtime to improve our services within the ministry for when elite athletes apply that the service, the processing of the applications done in a timely fashion, there's proper communication, so improving all systems, assisting governing bodies to establish a virtual presence to help them in the day-to-day operations, so they would be better poised to really contribute to the economic expansion through sport and providing the necessary support to the athletes, helping them and having programs in collaboration with, for instance, the TTOC in how to manage money, how to interact with the media, and really utilizing sport as a means of personal and professional development and income generation. We're of course looking at positioning ourselves so we can improve our infrastructure to be a host for many of our different regional and international games. We would have recently hosted CPL and done so successfully.
Getting the community development ministry underneath your purview, how important is that also going to help in the development of sport and also identifying talent for sport?
I think that is very, very critical because the community development ministry would have already had a very robust structure of presence and office within the 9 administrative districts in Trinidad, and Tobago House of Assembly is already doing its work. The sports portfolio didn't have such a wide coverage. We would have depended heavily on the NSOs to do the work in the community. Now we get to do a more comprehensive type of work program where we can work with the community groups and work with the NSOs, provide coaching, provide community programs, do the training and capacity building, succession planning, helping community organizations to write proposals, to do their books and so on, so that they can better be in a position to run their business and to not just attract the funds of the government or the taxpayer dollar, but to also attract funds from corporate Trinidad and Tobago. Hence the reason we would have increased the incentives to encourage corporate Trinidad and Tobago to get involved, to make their contribution, to support the different sporting entities, to support individual athletes, and to really ramp that up from now going forward. And that is to also encourage our sporting entities to have a good profile and to run their business properly so that they could attract that kind of investment.
One of the things you mentioned is the NSOs getting involved, taking the initiative to get funding and generate attract interest for themselves. How important is it for them not to see this period as a doom and gloom, but also an opportunity for growth?
I think we have to look at sport as a business, and this is the right time and the right opportunity to do so. to examine our operations, and because it's what you put into sport you get out of it. It's not just about recreation, going out there and play. It's a science. It's what you put into it, you get out of it. So we have to look at running our business properly, making the proper investment so that there is return on the investment, looking at athlete development and long-term athlete development, not just to win a specific medal or a specific game, but having long-term goals. Like people like Brian Lewis would have been looking at winning Olympic medals 2024, and he has a long-term projection as to what he expects and what he's working on. So it's about looking at student athletes and planning a course for them through the Ministry of Education, working in collaboration with the Ministry of Sport and Community Development, identifying talent within the community and working with them, providing opportunities for them to enhance their skills and so on, and even helping the sporting clubs and sporting bodies who are doing really excellent work. For instance, we have like a mini CPL in the east side. I think it was Roxborough and Tobago over the July-August period, and that was outstanding work. I would have seen also community football leagues that would have been doing a really good job, just encouraging them to promote local tourism and get to the point of where we should have a regional football league, or something like that. We have to do our work at home, and this is the right time to do so whilst we have no choice but to really place that focus and make that investment at home.
Our elite athletes continue to train and hopefully of Olympic Games next year. What message would you want to send for them as Minister of Sport?
I'm saying keep reaching for the stars. The time is a trying and challenging time for all of us. We in the Ministry of Sport and Community Development, especially Sport TT, we are here to provide the necessary support. We intend to set up an athlete welfare desk so that there is a more fluid communication and support from the ministry and from Sport TT to our athletes, especially our elite athletes who would have been having challenges accessing funds over the years. We want to make it smoother for them. So we are here to help. We are here to support. When they win, we win.